We got a little segment here of What Your Palate. We're going to be talking about what this next episode has on it. And it's actually a very exciting one. We got an awesome guest with us. We've got Raeed Hosny. He has a story like no other, going from being an actor in Egypt where he grew up to becoming going into hospitality in New York, and then becoming somebody very important in the intelligence world as we went into Iraq, helping bridge the gap and keep peace. And really a pleasure to have you on the show today and tell your stories.
I was a child star when I was starting acting when I was 6 years old. And this is something new. I was nominated to the equivalent of the Oscar when I was 14.
Wow.
I was nominated. I didn't get it, but I was nominated to it on my role of one of the TV movies I was involved in. I lived in different cultures, in different countries. I lived in big cities like Cairo, London, New York.
You've been shot at many times. You got to see some action.
Raeed, we are truly encouraged by your presence here and inspired. And your story of perseverance is... like I said, it really just adds light.
Thank you very much, guys. And guys, every place have the good, the bad, and the ugly. Don't ever judge the book by its address.
Very true. They're words of wisdom, words to live by. Anybody that is wanting to know about the perspective of Raeed here, and it's a beautiful story, watch and listen to Go With Your Palate. You're going to love this episode. I guarantee it. And speaking of risk, I got to ask, what was the riskiest situation you ever found yourself in?
We found, I had information from one of the sources about a weapons cache, a large weapons cache, and from it was rockets that were fired by the terrorists at our planes. So we went to the place. We finally went to the place, and I had my source on the phone with me. Go through here, walk 2 miles here, and start digging. And we dig, and we found the rockets. After we found the rockets, we start getting next to a cement wall, a small cement wall, and I can hear the slugs from AK-47 hitting the wall that I'm next to. So we kind of dunked it down with the agent. Yeah. They were firing at us from everywhere, trying to get us out of. That firing did not stop till the Black Hawks came, and once they saw the helicopters, they know what was going to come after that, so they stopped firing. And we realized afterwards that they were firing at us to divert our attention from digging more, because there was more stuff there that we didn't dig that day. So that was one of the...
It's risky. That's risky. And you're in full gear. You're wearing...
I'm wearing a Kevlar. I'm wearing a bulletproof vest. I can send you a picture. Yeah. Of that day, actually, and I have videos of it. Go ahead.
Yeah, did you have equipment out there, or were you guys digging by hand?
I do not. When I go out with the guys and in certain areas, I do not carry a weapon.
Oh no! Sorry.
Go ahead.
When you were like digging up these weapons caches, did you have an excavator, or were you just using shovels with
Yeah. We were using shovels to dig out this stuff, but what happened is that the procedure is to wait for the explosive unit to come and carry those rockets back, because they have experts who know how to carry these rockets back. But waiting was not an option after we get fired at like that. So we had to put the stuff in the Humvees and just drive back to the camp.
Jeez, it's just like all in a day's work, you know.
That's just one day. That was just one day.
Another day. You walk into a mosque and you arrest the the Sumaidai, who was the head of the Salafis. And in this mission, actually, the head of the mission was Colonel Mark Milley. And we went together to the mosque and we met with Al Sumaidai, who was the head of the Salafi movement in Iraq. And we end up interrogating him on the spot, and then we arrested him and we took him with us with the weapons cache that we found in the basement of the mosque.
Okay.
That was we got ambushed that day too, but thank God there was no fatalities, nobody died that day.
Yeah. Wild.
And yeah, it is unbelievable. And I'm thinking too, when you were talking about finding those rockets and you were on the phone with your source and they're kind of telling you, giving and directing you. The thought came to my mind, and I was wondering if you ever, were you seeking out these sources? Was this a source that you actually secured, found, and then they were able to give you the information to lead you? Because it's going to lead me to the question of, were you ever put in a situation? Because I'm imagining that you have to first decide that this is going to be a reliable, truthful source. Because I was wondering if you'd ever be in a situation where the source was actually trying to lead you into danger, or they were coming across that they were going to help you or send you to a right place, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe they were going to be deceitful. Did you ever come across anything like that with your sources?
We go through process with the sources. We meet them in the camp in a place we call the secret house, and we talk to them, and we try to first we go through process. We talk to them and we make sure the information that we get from him is correct, and then before we act on his information or her information, we have to take them through a lie detector test twice.
Oh, yeah. If
they pass, we take their words and we see and of course they are promised if we find the cachet that they will get rewarded, and they always got rewarded.
Oh.
That's why they are continuing to give you the information.
So there was, okay, and rewards were thousands of dollars?
Exactly.
Okay. Oh.
Depending on the finding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah.
Information is not cheap.
It's not free. I know that.
And I was also thinking, and this is, it's a heavy-hearted statistic, but I've heard within this Iraq war, there was over 100,000 civilians that passed away. Did you find yourself in situations where maybe there was someone that was under interrogation, they were thought to be a threat, that you were able to find out that they weren't, and help them prove that they were not a threat?
There was a number of them, and I took advantage of when we were close. We were in Ramadan, and Ramadan was almost finished, and we come up to the feast where the Muslim people are celebrating. And usually in the feast, some of the prisons in the local places in Egypt or in Iraq or in any other country, they release some of the people that they are detained. And I wrote a letter to Colonel Milley to say that there are people who has nothing to do with nothing, and they are not holding any information that can be valuable to us. And I will greatly appreciate it if you allow these people to go back to their families. And he agreed, and we released those people. Yes, that was part of what I did. Yeah.
That was the one of the probably important factors of you understanding the culture and being able to dig in and get the right people that could be informants and then move the other people out to be living their lives.
Exactly.
How many people were assisting in intelligence that were at your skill set that were doing what you were doing? Would you say hundreds, thousands?
Oh, I mean,
Tens,
within
teens?
the intelligence field, I can only tell from where I worked, the units I worked with, the intelligence in the Army, I worked with the intelligence at the Air Force. I supported with the Air Force, that was the OSI, which is the Office of Special Investigation in Iraq, and we were in charge of the security of the Baghdad International Airport, as well as collecting. And actually, the OSI took a very good place in the intelligence world. And we were about, I would say, 5 people working with this unit. But this unit was small. We were like 12 agents and the commander, plus the protective force. So we were, but we actually, the OSI took a very good spot in the world of intelligence in the United States, because you have the first, of course, the CIA, and then the DIA, and then there is a lot of them, but the OSI was they went up in the ladder.
They went up in the ladder, and yeah. So you just mentioned you were also working with the CIA and a number of other organizations within government. Was that kind of a? Did you have one person from each of those groups that was talking, and you were feeding to them, or did you actually collaborate with them directly?
No, I had to be sworn in one project, and that was not in Iraq. It was related to Iraq, but it took place in Thailand, in Bangkok. So, and that was a completely different ball game over there.
How can you divulge the information on what did Bangkok? What was in Bangkok that had to do with Iraq?
We had to talk to a high-ranking Ba'ath Party member who was living in Syria at the time, and we could not travel to Syria to talk to him. So we had him travel to Thailand to talk to him and to conduct a polygraph test on him. So I participated in that.
Okay, and
oh,
go ahead.
It's like I said, it's a completely different ball game from what was happening in Iraq.
I mean, it sounds like a lot of the people that you were working with, they were almost happy, even if they were a top level person within any organization. They wanted to bring you information at some point. Were they looking for safety? Were they looking for a way out of what they were in?
No, we were looking for safety. We were looking for our safety in Iraq. That's number one, and the safety of other people also in Iraq, and that's why we were.
But the people that you were interrogating, it sounds like some of them would come forward that were high up.
You have to give these people motivations, because some of them will be motivated from the inside, believing in what they are doing the right thing, and some of them are dirty, so they are just following their I'm going to get that much money and then I can improve my living, or I can escape, or this or that. And so the motivation is different from one to the other. And regardless of the motivation, we go by technology helped us to find out who's lying and who is not. And
yeah, that's always good.
Yeah, I mean, even
you
then,
need a motivator for everything.
I feel with the lie detector test is very interesting too. Obviously, you keep mentioning that it was being used then. I feel it's like still being used, available now. If people take it within our court system, shoot, they're even doing shows now where it's just for more like pop culture type like fun things of putting people on a lie detector test, or it's like, who's the father? You know, you're the father. No, you're not. But I'm always like curious because, like I said, we can't, it's not, it's still one of those things that we can't say it's a definite, obviously, because we can't just put anyone on a lie detector test and then be like, wash our hands with it and be like, that's totally true. So for you using it as a tool, was there...
To confirm, it's used as a tool to confirm what we anticipated.
So it's just like another tool to add on to, because you're using your techniques, right?
Of course.
Being able to be the human lie detector, you have that, and it just keeps adding on to the evidence that you can be sure, which is good to know, right? We all want to. You're doing your due diligence, obviously, in these situations.
And if somebody was not cooperative, you probably wouldn't even give them a lie detector, or did you still give them a lie detector? Yeah. No, wasn't worth it. They'd be employing countermeasures if possible to throw it off, so you'd get an inconclusive result anyways. So what's
lie detector is costly, by the way, over there. It's not cheap.
Really?
Because you have to get the technical person who does that for a living, and
so you don't want to waste the time, throw the assets. Yeah. That makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
So we got to hear a little bit about some of the interrogation techniques, obviously ways to like find what is driving the individual. Was gaslighting something that you utilized? Kind of implanting the idea in their head and then making them more comfortable with believing it. It's something women. It's something American women do to men here all the time. So it's
we were not that good.
There is a good point. I think you are you're together with a Colombian woman, and I think if you were to just take like 100 women from different Latin countries and put them into interrogation rooms with people that they wanted to get information from, I got a feeling that a lot of those guys would turn real quick. They're just like, I can't fucking handle this. They can be ruthless. Don't mess around. I wouldn't want my wife doing an investigation on me for anything. Just like, Jesus Christ. She'd dig up some shit that didn't even exist. And make me believe it.
Yeah, we were talking about lie detector tests. They're not machines. They're just bringing in the wise.
They're just bringing in the wise.
They're like, all right, try to see if you can get past him.
Secret weapon. Yeah, were there any interrogations that did not go your way, that you had to get a little more aggressive, change your tactics, and really come from a completely different angle, that you kind of just were on the fly, knowing that you could get information, but you just weren't making it in, so you had to adjust real quick?
There was a guy who was in the division, and they asked me to go help out with it because they thought they had proved that he was a double agent, meaning he was giving out information about us outside and giving us information about what's going on outside. And I asked the agent to just leave me with him in the room alone. And I told him, I used that technique that you were just mentioning, the gas tank lighting.
Yeah.
Gas lighting.
That was the technique at the time.
He was using
I told him, listen, just to be smart, who you going to benefit from better? The people outside or us? How much are they going to give you? And how much are we going to give you? how good are we going to be to you and you being protected and your family protected, and how much are they going to protect you or hurt you? Without them knowing, we can tell you what you need to tell them. And this way you can maintain both of us. But to be smart, you have to follow us. And for that, you have to go through a lie detector test before we can trust you to be able
There
to
you go. Yeah.
So,
and so did he...
That worked.
So you turned him from a double agent to just an agent for you.
Exactly.
That's great. Yeah.
Well, I had him first admit that he was a double agent because he never admitted that.
Oh.
Well, I had him admit first that he was a double agent, and then I took it from there.
Did you have, in these situations that you were dealing with, did you have a situation where you felt you really had to stand up for what you believed in?
Yeah, I had to stand up for myself, and I had to stand up, and there was actually 2 occasions that it was a misfortune that I was called to investigate with an agent the blowing up of a small car on the road, on the airport, inside our camp. And in order to drive there, you have to go through the security gate in the front, and they have to search you to make sure there is no guns, there is no this, there is no that, in order for you to drive through that road. And there was a Humvee with about 4 or 5 soldiers in it, and they fired at this car who was driving on the road, and they blow it up. They fired at it with a 50 calibers gun that blew up the gas tank of the car, and the car was just inflamed. And when I went in to check the incident, there was still smoke coming out of the car after the fire department put it out. I discovered that those 3 guys were used to work in the bank at the airport, and I used to see them every day and talk to them and sometimes have breakfast together and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There was 1 handicapped person who was the driver and 2 ladies.
Sorry to hear that.
And I had to look through the wreckage to find out if there was a gun they fired at the unit. The unit said that they fired at them a 9mm. How can you fire a 9mm gun on a Humvee with a door that thick?
Yeah.
It's stupid. And anyway, make long story short, we found aside from the emotional I had to go through, let's set that aside, we found no gun and no proof that these people fired at them, and it was a mistake by the soldiers that fired, and this is considered a collateral damage. Very easy to say, very hard to absorb and to understand and to live with. Went back to the office, write the report, translate the other report. And then they give me another report to sign saying that we found the gun and it was not the fault of the soldier. I said, I'm not doing that. He said, what? Where is your loyalty? Where is this? I said, no. My loyalty is to humankind first, then to whatever nationality. We don't come to life with nationality. We come to life as human first, and then we live in a place, so we become part of the social thing of that place. So, but there is no my loyalty is to humankind first, and you are not going to get me to sign this. I'm sorry. What you need to do now is to go find the families of these people and see what kind of solution that you can have with them, a way to say, we are sorry about what we did. And it's a part of the religion too, that you can compensate them with some money. So I think that's the right thing to do. especially when our president at the time, George Bush, said, try to win the heart and minds of the Iraqis. You can't win their hearts and minds by making a mistake and then making more mistakes and say a lie. I just had to stand my ground with this situation. I couldn't.
That's the right thing to do. It was the right thing to do, and sorry you had to go through that. I'm sure that wasn't the only horrible experience you saw there, but that's tough. But you explained it very well, and I'd really like to hear about your perspective on things, and I think more people should share that perspective on humanity. Well, I think we can start to wind down a little bit, but I thought we'd ask a couple more fun questions if kind of as we get.
I mean, and thank you again though for sharing that, Raeed. I think it's
my pleasure.
It gives us a lot of insight of someone that has actually seen it and been through it.
Thank you for having me.
But we have some other questions too.
Just some, you don't need to answer these questions if you don't want to, but you had some top secret clearance. So do you have any knowledge of things that may be conspiratorial in nature in our modern society? Like, are there any life forms outside of Earth that you've heard about?
In Iraq, there was a lot of them. No. Well, I haven't seen any around here, to be honest. Well, we didn't come across this. No.
I think, because I think it's wondering what that's like. What does that mean? Can you go to certain areas that are what kind of areas are you allowed to go to?
I think you're asking, can you look at information that does not pertain to your mission?
Exactly.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can. You can.
Okay. Thank you, dude.
I thought that was going to be an absolute no answer.
Yeah, you did, dude. Yeah.
Damn. So wow. Okay. I mean, so you could have found out if there's aliens. Yeah.
He's like, why are you guys stuck on this alien thing? I mean, I'm talking about I'm getting I'm trying to find rockets. I'm getting shot at, stuff like that. Maybe didn't have the time to.
There's a little
check
busy
in with ET, but
What's your favorite Egyptian food that since you do get to go back to Egypt, what is just your overall favorite Egyptian food?
Iraqi lamb.
All right.
And the koshari. Koshari is rice and pasta and lentil and tomato sauce and fried onion. Mix it together. Oh, it's delicious.
That sounds hearty. That sounds really good.
It does.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna have to look that up. And then rack of lamb. You got me. That's one of my favorite things, especially when you get some of those darker, more exotic spices on it. It's just phenomenal. Let's see. Favorite place you've ever traveled to and why?
Where I am at right now.
Oh, good answer.
Colombia, in the mountain.
Oh, you're up in
outside of Cali. I'm about 1 hour away from Cali.
Okay.
In a nice valley. Maybe you can tell by yourself.
Yeah, you know what? Actually,
can I take you?
Show it. Why not?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, let's take the camera out there.
Okay.
We'll see how the connection goes. Sorry, I know that guys are like, uh-oh. But if we can just see a little bit of the view, we might as well try to see.
Wow.
Right?
Not bad. Yeah. Jesus. Living in paradise.
It's beautiful.
Not too chubby.
That's beautiful.
I love it.
Yeah. Thank you.
So if you were to make a movie of your life, what or who would you play?
If I'm making a movie of my life?
Yeah. Who who would you have play
Yeah,
the movie of your life?
That's a good question. I'm trying to remember his name. Who did My Cousin Vinny?
Oh, dude. Wait. Joe Pesci?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah, I like Joe Pesci.
Out of left field.
Yeah.
Joe Pesci's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, hey, we're gonna wrap it up, but I just want to go back one more time and say thank you very much, Raeed.
Yes.
From your youth, being a child actor in Egypt, becoming famous there, and then moving through life, trying new things, coming to New York City, working in hospitality, and then putting it all on the line to help bridge the gap between Iraq and America and make things better, and prove to yourself that you are the worthy American that you are. And now marrying a woman and moving to Colombia, man, great stories, and we really appreciate your service to the country. And it was really a great pleasure to talk to you today.
My pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
All right, you too.
All right,
Take
you
care.
too.